And we're going live, so any minute now we'll be here in YouTube land.
What up, YouTube?
If we're not, if we're not already, because they say it's setting up the live stream, but it's already set up before you
Yeah,
even see
mine
yourself.
says live.
Yeah, mine says meeting is now streaming live on
Well,
custom live streaming
let
service.
me pop this toothpick pick out, and just in case. Hey yo.
There you go.
In case they can see me.
Hey, Miss Kelly said she was sorry about your jersey too. That's what I told her. So my son needed a youth large football jersey, and they ordered him an adult large.
Oh,
Oops.
Can you say almost down to his ankles?
Oh.
Like it's too big for me.
Oh.
hell.
That ain't large.
Oh.
That sounds like a triple extra large. Oof.
Shit. Are we still live?
Oh yeah, we're live. We're talking about
Yeah,
my
we're
kid's
live.
football jersey on live on
Okay,
YouTube.
hey YouTube land. I'm sorry. No, I closed one
Oh.
browser and it closed all the
Good push.
browsers. So
Thank you.
I'm trying to get back in and check on the feed. Here it is. Excellent connection. All right.
You're better
That's what
than
we
you.
like.
Better than you party. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Why are you not there? It is. Okay.
The volume, sorry. There it is.
That was awesome.
All right. Is anybody sharing this yet?
I'm working
Yeah,
on it.
Where are you sharing, Bruce?
I'm sharing personally, and then I'll share on the book face as well.
Okay. Okay. I guess I'll throw it up on my Twitter. Oh no, wait. Brucey, don't do the book face. Let Wendy do the book face. Do the Twitter.
Well, I'm gonna do my personal book face,
Oh,
and then
okay.
then I'll do Twitter.
I'm getting Twitter then. I got you right now
Okay.
because I'm here.
Someone throw it up on the Insta then.
Okay.
Okay. That I
Teamwork.
can do. Makes the dream
Teamwork.
work.
Makes that motherfucking dream work. Come join us for all the fun and games right now. Right motherfucking now! Fun and gomes. No. I don't know what that means. I'm burning you. All right, and then I'll come over here.
Why won't it let me tag anybody?
Did you post it before you tagged it?
No. Oh well, screw it. And then we want to go to the Insta too, right?
Yeah, Wendy said she's getting the Insta.
Oh, she's doing the gram. Okay,
Yep.
Doing
well,
the gram.
fine.
She's on it. She's doing the gram.
I'll just share it to my page then. Eat a piece
Yeah.
of broccoli before we kick this bad boy off.
I'm gonna retweet.
I love broccoli, but I can't eat it. It slows down my metabolism more so than it already is.
All right, there we go. So we got that all set up.
Great to share with everybody.
And we're starting to get some viewers and playbacks.
And now everyone knows Grandma Wendy has hypothyroidism. Yay.
Whoa.
Woo!
Hey, there's two of us in here.
Mm-hmm. I could see that.
What was that song in the South Park movie? Was it the movie? Or was it?
That's
It was
your
one of
fucking
Chef's
face,
songs.
Uncle Fucker.
No. It was one of
You're
Chef's
an
songs.
ass raping
You
Uncle
and me,
Motherfucker.
Simultaneous loving, baby. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Is what you're talking about, the one with Satan and Saddam?
No. This was a different one.
I think she's talking about Love Gravy.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
I can't remember what episode
Chef.
that was.
When they were
That was
trying to
Chef.
get, I think it was like they were trying
Yeah,
to
that's
get
what I said. One
the,
of Chef's songs.
they were trying to get like the extinct race to mate or something, and Chef started singing Love Gravy.
Yeah.
Tonight is the night for love.
Oh.
Although personally, I'm more of a fan of chocolate salty balls, but that's.
Mm-hmm.
Say, everybody, have you seen my balls? They're big and salty and brown.
That's one of my favorite skits from SNL. Shreddy Balls.
Mine will always be a man down by the river.
Ah, yes. I have a bit of a weight problem.
You'll end up like me, living in a van down by the river.
I was watching Coneheads the other day. I wanted to cry seeing them.
My wife just walked out and gave me the craziest look in the world when I was doing that.
I'm sure in the back, Kathy is like with DJ and rolling her eyes right now, listening to me. Like, just this motherfucker again. I can't even. Like,
I just can't even. I can't odd. I can't do none of it.
no. There's gonna be no division in this house. I can't even. I wash my elbow.
Just talking a bunch of people.
Because even if I rest my arm on the table that I got my mic on, it's just like, it just sounds like.
We're gonna talk about the down smack too.
The smack of the down.
Oh yes.
Because
that was good. That was the if you saw the Zoom chat, that was the topic that was called Sure Jan.
Okay.
Sure, Jan.
Oh, Wendy just got everyone to come watch us now.
Like I totally didn't copy your homework, AW. I swear. Sure, Jan.
I just changed it a little.
Although, what's the difference between a regular street match and a Samoan one? Samoans.
I said what the difference was. If everybody's in our Facebook group, they saw the comment that there's only one way to win, and we're gonna go into that shortly.
That was hysterical.
Oh wait, I gotta get our intro up. This is bullshit.
I was gonna say I'm ready to kick this puppy off.
I am too. I was just trying to wait and let some people kind of float in, get some bonus content because I don't put none of this on the podcast, but this is all like YouTube exclusive. So if you tune in at the very first, you're seeing and hearing things that aren't going to be seen and heard anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So
like Grandma Wendy's broccoli problem.
Right.
Cruciferous vegetables in general. No broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. You know,
Brussels sprouts are so good if they're made the right way.
Fucking love Brussels sprouts.
Oh no, just come on.
Oh.
Sorry.
You ever get the stock? Cover that and make the stock of Brussels sprouts, right? Cover it in maple syrup, put it in the oven, roast it, and then put some pomegranate seeds on it. Let it roast a little bit longer so the seeds burst. So delicious like that. A little salt on top, like sea salt. Give that little sweet and salty.
Send me that. Send me that recipe later.
Yeah. I'll have to find it again. When I worked at Trader Joe's, that was one of the things we used to do.
See, you guys get to learn about cooking too. And we're not just a wrestling show.
Exactly.
One of these days, we're gonna get around to premiering Cooking with Grandma.
Watch my kitchen catch on fire.
That would be hilarious. I've actually watched her try to cook before.
We're making cookies. Yeah, me too. It's funny.
Are you drinking a pumpkin head right now?
I am. I'm drinking a dog
Shipyard
pumpkin ale.
Oh, have you tried the Shipyard yet?
Yes, I have that in my fridge.
Oh my God, isn't it so good?
The only pumpkin spice shit I like around this time of year are the ales. Everything else can go to hell.
that friggin' pumpkin head.
Fair enough.
Damn good.
Yeah, it is. It's good shit.
Okay.
I'm just keeping my mouth shut because y'all are talking about pumpkin flavor and Brussels sprouts, and I'm like,
Sounds like meat and potatoes.
Yeah, steak.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple, y'all.
Steak and Guinness. That's what I'm all about. Yingling and wings. Ying and wings. It's perfect.
When I worked at the law office, we used to have an annual client appreciation party in the summer, and my office was the bar basically.
Doesn't surprise me.
I'd get there and there'd be like the coolers of beer still. They always got Guinness, so I'd just like grab a Guinness, pop it open, 9 a.m., sit there typing motions while drinking a Guinness. Fucking best.
Nice.
Yeah.
I want a job like that. Oh, you know what?
I remember when I used to get up at 5 a.m. on a Saturday and just start drinking for the hell of it.
I mean, there's that.
There is.
And I wouldn't stop until I passed out, and I'd get up and do the same thing the next day. I had those days.
All right. On that note, I think we should start the show. Because you don't want to know what I'd be doing all night. So
who's in the chat with us? I wish I could see who was in the chat.
I know.
There's no one yet, amazingly.
Is it just us three?
I see people watching, but like there's nobody yet.
That's fine. Start the show. People give people things to talk about.
I know. I was trying to give people a minute to come in and like say hi and stuff, and then I was gonna be like, all right, let's do it, but it's not really happening. So I guess we should probably kick this shit off. Let me. I've got the intro. I need the soundboard. Soundboard's kind of critical, especially for intros. All right. Let's see.
I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Yeah, we're good.
That pisses me off.
Me too.
Love it.
No, not the sound clip, but everything behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything going on in the real world.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that.
Start that. Share that. Want that one?
That minor detail of, shit.
Fuck.
Damn it.
Shit fuck.
Oh. Whoa.
Shit. Fuck. Damn
Oh.
it.
I was wondering what the hell was going on.
I'm getting
like,
ready
what
to
the
kick this bitch.
What's going on my screen?
You're doing the intro, right, Brucey?
Oh, of course.
Of course. Why don't you even ask?
Why wouldn't I?
All right.
Just turned 40. Of course I'm gonna do it.
I
Get a little
know.
bit
Oh,
gray.
yes. Funny.
Happy
Okay.
birthday, Brucey.
Look at
Belated.
you, Silver Fox.
All right, birthday boy. I'm gonna hit this,
Just
and
do
then
it,
she's
do
gonna
it.
make me laugh, and then our screens are gonna go crazy, and we're gonna get this going. All right.
I
ready?
still don't like that Starman's getting suplexed in that.
Well, it happened.
He should be doing the suplex.
You should.
Blame the guy who made it. It's not me. Shots fired. Here we go.
Pew pew.
Whoo. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages that should not be watching this show, welcome to another episode of TRWT3's Top Rope Wrestling Talk. Yes, we are here. We're not on the left. We're not on the right. We're right on top. We're up here. We are in the I'm better than you party.
Yes.
Yes.
And
we
you
have
know
come
it.
to that conclusion, and you know it. Yes, that is the party we are in. That's the most political you'll ever hear us get on this show. And joining me, none other than the first lady of Top Rope Wrestling Talk, Miss Latina Heat herself, Grandma Wendy.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. We are, we cheat, we steal. We are, we cheat, we steal. Mamacita.
Mamacita. I got the Mamacita in there, huh?
Put it right in.
I don't want to hear you guys complain.
And then
Ever.
on this side of my screen, to my left, I'll even check on YouTube.
It's like right
Okay.
above me.
I'm over here. Hi.
Oh, yeah, he is on the left.
Hi.
On my left, and Grandma Wendy's down below. On my left, none other than the producer himself, the soundboard extraordinaire, the master of everything. The jack of
Wow,
all
I got a
trades.
promotion.
Long week. Jack of all trades, master of absolutely none. Dom.
Hey, damn, that's a cold ass honky.
I am.
Yeah.
I kind of am.
Yeah. And me, I am whole again this week. I am 100% complete. I have the scarf, the
He is the
MJF
head.
mark.
The head of the
man-
better than party.
Yes, I am MJF's campaign manager and the leader of the Better Than You party for MJF 2020. Trust me, he's gonna win. I'm the man that wears the MJF scarf, the MJF mark himself, the high class one, none other than Bruce.
I'm better than you.
Yes, I am.
And he knows it.
He knows it.
Yes, I do.
And happy belated birthday to Brucey too. We had to get that in.
Thank you.
Yay.
Big 4-0.
Right.
Oh,
That's it.
guys.
It's all downhill from here. Trust me.
Trust me, I can feel it. Like I don't know if it's a mental thing or what, but like I feel 40.
It's a little bit of both, honestly.
It's a
the
life
mental
thing, you know?
and then all of a sudden one day you take a nap on your couch and you wake up critically injured, and you're like, "Oh shit, I'm 40."
It's like the 13th. I went to bed at 39, felt great. I woke up Monday morning at 40, and I felt like I got hit with a bag of hammers overnight.
Like,
Like I felt
my hip go
metabolism
out.
stop.
Oh man, there goes
Wow,
that. Right?
I'm really looking forward to my 40s now. Thanks, you guys.
You're welcome. They're great. They're great.
How old am I? 34? 34. Wow, I had to think about it. I was like, oh.
So like, wait, what's the lighting look like? 29.
I'll never, you know, I promise you, I will never lie about my age. I might forget it, but I won't lie about it. Ain't no point.
Fair enough.
It shows I have a few like white hairs hanging out in there, and you can see all my little crow's feet, my lap lines. We're getting there, boys. I'm catching up to you.
So now that we talked about me being old, what do we got? What do we got on the topic list for wrestling this week, Dom? Since we are a wrestling show.
Yeah, I guess we should get to that eventually. I'm acting like it's drunk upon a time, and I'm drinking coffee. So, I guess we could kick off the show with an interesting topic that we kind of touched on last week, where we said, like, seems like maybe somebody was watching us when we talked about needing to get said over, and all of a sudden he joined the Hurt Business. It still feels that way this week, because we gave the explanation about how the Undisputed Era could be like anti-heroes and battle Retribution on Raw and SmackDown. And all of a sudden, wouldn't you know, come Monday, the Hurt Business was in that exact situation by the end of Raw.
Yeah.
Retribution was kicking the crap out of Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre, and and who shows up at top of the ramp taking off their suit coats and everything? The Hurt Business.
That's what I missed. Okay.
Somebody is watching us.
Someone's listening in. Someone's peeping on us.
Well, it makes me feel good that we know at least somebody from the outside the group is watching and listening.
That's true.
Yeah, somebody in Connecticut is watching us the way this shit is playing out. Because I know we're good, but we're not this good. Like 2 weeks in a row, we say this needs to happen, and then the following week it happens.
Or something along those lines happens.
I want to see royalties, damn it. I guess
that would be great.
Like, my thing is,
the idea was mine.
I don't think Hurt Business should be the anti-heroes. I still think it should be Undisputed Era. I think it would fit them perfect. The Hurt Business needs to be straight up, in your face heels, but they can't because of Retribution. So it's like, if they were to bring up Undisputed Era and have them feud with Retribution, then it comes to a matter of, what do we do with Hurt Business? Like, they're like, okay, this is getting over. People are starting to invest in the Hurt Business. They like it. So what are we going to do with them if they've got no one to feud with?
Yeah, I got to tell you.
I actually think that Undisputed Era is part of Retribution.
I almost hope not at this point. I almost hope not.
I mean, if they're going up against Hurt Business, I could see that. That could.
Bobby Lashley could crush all four of them.
I mean, yeah.
But all they got to do is add Keith Lee or Dijakovic.
Yeah, but I got to tell
you, he was supposed
to
go to Raw.
I actually think he's part of the Hurt. I mean, not the Hurt, but he's part of Retribution, because when you hear him actually speak, or when you hear one of them actually speak now, they obviously had their voice altered, but it still sounds like Dijakovic. He has a very unique voice.
Damn it,
so and I gotta be totally honest. When I heard about it, I wasn't exactly sold, and then I went and I watched it. And when I saw them come out and start unbuttoning the coats and taking them off and rushing the ring, and there were like 9 guys from Retribution at least already beating the crap out of Drew and Keith Lee. So they were severely outnumbered, and they didn't give a fuck. They just went and did it anyway. It gave me like these insane flashbacks of the Horsemen going after NWO and WCW. Like, I got chills. And so, while I wasn't really completely sold on it, when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, damn, that's good. That's going to be good." Like, I hate to say, bravo, you know.
Like the only it depends on who's in Retribution. Like that is what's really going to set this feud off with Hurt Business. It's got to be someone that we're not expecting. It's got to be it's got to be almost Hogan-esque heel turn
Oh yeah.
for that. Like they had that opportunity with Roman and they friggin' pissed it away.
Well, it could still be coming. You don't know. You know.
No, like he as soon as he came back, he turned heel. Like they could have had the whole Hogan moment with
Oh, I know they
Roman
could
Reigns.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But I feel like they're kind of going back to and as much as he's hated now, I hate to even bring him up, but they seem to be going back to like the end of Punk's title era back in the day, where he became a Heyman guy, and then the Shield came in and protected him to help him keep the title. I feel like Roman is becoming the new Punk. Heyman's on his side, and they're going to use Retribution the same way they use Shield to keep that belt on Roman.
But Retribution is exclusive to Raw.
They've been on SmackDown.
No, once Roman came back, they became exclusive to Raw.
Dude.
Oh yeah, they did.
No, I know, but they even watching highlights of SmackDown and that kind of thing, they still have the lights flickering. They still have Adam Pearce running around with security trying to keep him out of the building. They've cut a promo on SmackDown, so they're still there. Yeah. They're just not they may not be as active.
Breaking the law.
Yeah, right.
Retribution, they do whatever the fuck they want, you know.
I'm not gonna fully invest in them until I find out who it is.
Fair. Okay.
That's just me.
Fair enough, but that moment with the Hurt Business was definitely a great moment. And I know we even complained about when Keith Lee debuted, he had a weird outfit and some new music, and they've slowly been adjusting it. And he actually came out during that match with Drew rocking like a singlet with his old gear that looked like his old gear. It said Limitless down the back, had the Black Lives Matter, black and pink. It was actually kind of dope. So Keith is a man of his word. He said he was going to work all that shit out, and it looks like he has. Thank God.
Well, he's trying to at least.
Because I was getting tired of them making him put on Pat McAfee's shirt. That was just over for me. It was like, just let him come out. Like, I know what he looks like. I've watched him. We all know.
You get in. You get in. Say hi.
Is that Morgan?
Say hi.
Oh,
yes,
hey.
It is.
Hey, dude, what's going on?
Morgan. Say hi.
Hello.
All right, give me a kiss.
Okay.
Night, buddy. I love you.
Night, Morgan.
Night.
Pardon me one moment. Carry on. I'll be back.
We'll be here.
The high classinator, ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, like I'm on the fence about Retribution. The idea is interesting. I don't know about the execution and the extendedness of it. This feels like one of those stories that shouldn't be long term. But
Yeah,
maybe it's me.
it definitely feels like we should have had some kind of payout by now. And if not when, like going back and even like Bailey turning on Sasha looked like it was going to happen for 3 months. And when it finally happened, you just sat there and went, well, it's about time. Like, it was a good moment. I mean, she damn near killed the bitch. But
it feels like they're trying to do long-term storylines, but they don't know when to cut them off. And so we're sitting here like, well, who's Retribution?
So
we're waiting on who's Retribution. We're still waiting, and it's like.
So now WWE wants to go back to building storylines and having long arcs when everything was just instant. I wonder where they got that from.
What did I miss?
We're talking about how WWE, it feels like they're trying to do long stories again, but they to cut them off. Like they're just extending them. Like Retribution's taking too long.
Bailey and Sasha.
The Bailey turn was really extended. Yeah.
Even the formation of the Hurt Business has been like a slow burn, slow build to get to, guys like Shelton Benjamin and guys like Cedric Alexander and stuff like that, which is cool. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, like, all of a sudden now they're more concerned about long-term storylines and arcs. I feel like they got that from someplace else, but it might be none of my business. I don't know.
Can we bring up this SmackDown on Friday right now? Can we bring that up right now?
I was actually going to say, and speaking of this feels like they might have copied somebody's homework. We now heard this morning after last night's parking lot fight that on SmackDown on Friday we're going to have a Samoan street fight. It's going to be, obviously Roman and Uso versus Sheamus and King Corbin, who are not Samoans. So I don't know how you have Samoan street fights with not Samoans, but they're doing it. I have heard that the only way to win the match is to actually incapacitate your opponent and give them a stink face while wearing a thong.
So
That would be hysterical.
I held it together for a minute there.
now let's look at this from a competitive point of view before we just throw this to the wolves and slaughter it.
Oh, I'm waiting.
More so than it already has been.
Yes. Jeremiah, one of in our group, he said he's like, I kind of like the idea. It's now we're in a position of true competition. AEW starting to pull competitive numbers now. So now the main roster starting to pay attention and make those changes. Same thing in the Monday Night Wars. Raw would have a battle royal, Nitro would have a battle royal. It's one of those things where competitively, Jeremiah is right.
Yeah.
Am I pleased about it? No. Do I think it's stupid? Hell yeah, because it's not going to compete with the parking lot brawl because they can't have the violence that AEW has.
Not really, no. I mean, they just don't do that. I know they up their.
You can do it on Raw Underground.
They came up from PG to TV-14, so they can be a little bit more violent. But at the same time, I feel like TNT gives Dynamite a lot more leeway than USA Network gives WWE or WWE wants. So it's not going to be as brutal as what you saw in the parking lot fight on Wednesday. And while this looks like it's directly connected, like, oh, they had a street fight, we're having a street fight. Mm-hmm. And while you're correct, Brucey, you would see a battle royal on Raw and then you would see one on Nitro back in the Monday Night War days. The difference is you didn't have a lot of people going, wait a minute, they just did that on Raw. Like nobody cared. Now everybody wants to talk about WWE guys and how come AEW stealing this and how come this is happening because that happened and blah, blah. Now it's more important because you have these people out here who believe that everything WWE does is just gold and everything outside of it is stolen from them. And a lot of times it's the other way around.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so if you're going to look at it that way, I say wait till Friday, watch this match, go back to Dynamite, watch the parking lot fight. Tell me where that came from.
Yeah, you're not going to
the same thing people... like WWE saying we're going to put wrestlers in the crowd. Wonder where that came from. Sounds familiar.
You're not going to see someone get pile driven on a hood of a car. You're not going to see someone underneath the hood of a car getting the hood slammed on them 80 billion times. You're not going to see a tombstone pile driver through a windshield. I am sorry.
You're not going to see a tombstone pile driver, period.
You're not going to see anyone with blood just pouring down their back and having it roll all over the concrete because they got put through a windshield of a car. Mm-hmm. You're not going to see that kind of thing. Because WWE doesn't do that kind of thing, but they're still trying to compete. So now they're going to say, we'll have a street fight. Only we'll call the Samoan street fight. I'm not exactly sure what the fuck that is.
You're not going to see someone's mom flipping everyone off.
That was awesome. She's like,
honestly, I loved. And since we're bringing it up, we're just going to get into the parking lot war because that match was amazing. I loved it. It was violent. It was brutal. It was everything that the Bingo Hall kid me ever looks for in one match until the very end.
There was no loser in that match.
Oh, there was a loser in that match, and it was Orange Cassidy because I think he lost at least 2 fans on this show popping out and screwing PMP the way that he did.
Nope. There was no loser in that match. I don't care what happened at the end. There was no loser in that match. That match was that great.
It was phenomenal. Absolutely. I'm salty that Proud and Power that Santana and Ortiz came out like fucking bulls just to be treated like fucking kids and have Orange Cassidy pop out of nowhere. No one asked you to come out, Orange Cassidy. No one asked.
Nobody asked you to get in that goddamn trunk. Not one person.
No one puts Cassidy in a trunk.
Much like no one puts baby in a corner.
Right?
No one puts Cassidy in a trunk.
Just like no one puts baby in a corner.
He popped out of a trunk.
Did you see that whole thing when Ortiz was it? No, it was Santana. He was getting ready to hit Chuck, and you see Chuck like this with the trunk key. He's got the trunk key. He's like, open.
Come on, man. Come on, OnStar, help me out.
No, and I think the only reason, I mean, that whole feud with those two teams, I actually felt that Pride and Powerful, even though they lost a street fight, got more over because of that feud.
Definitely.
Than the Best Friends. The Best Friends were already over.
Yeah.
But
They both are. It's just PNP have been struggling for a bit. And to see them bounce back and look more like their old selves and have an absolute war in a parking lot with Best Friends definitely makes them appear like they are on their way up. But Cassidy just I wanted to slap.
It was perfect.
I wanted to slap the citrus right out of his hair when I saw him pop out of that trunk. I was mad as fuck.
Oh, but
Like,
you would have loved the shit out of it if it was Sammy Guevara that popped out of the trunk to help Pride and Powerful. You would have
I would have loved it. I would have loved it. I would have loved it if Jericho would have hopped out of the car and went after Cassidy after he popped out of the trunk, and it just became an even bigger chaotic war. But since it ended that way, those four guys were killing each other for a good 20 some minutes. It just felt wrong.
I think what I'm most salty about is that it's Santana and Ortiz being handed another fucking L when they came out balls to the wall like they did. It's like, how many L's are you going to give these guys, honestly?
But now, again, we talk about a slow burn storyline. Well,
how many L's are they going to be handed in this slow ass burn
storyline?
Dude, they've had the slowest burning story since they started. Like, they were the joke. They did their comedy shtick and stuff like that when they first came in, and then they started becoming bad. Now they're getting to a point of where, dude, enough's enough, and then slowly but surely, we're gonna see what we've been dying to see is Eddie Kingston turn on those four guys and join Pride and Powerful. That's what we're gonna see. It's coming.
Make it so, number one.
I have a good question for Brucey. What do you want to see more? Kingston join up with LAX and the crew, or MJF create his own faction?
Oh my God!
Choose.
You know what I'm gonna choose. I'm the leader of the Better Than You
party.
God, yes. Obviously, I want to see Dynasty in AEW.
We're also associated with the Green Party, man.
They can do it too because Hammerstone and Holiday can work AEW with their MLW contract.
I know they can, but with and my mistake, y'all. I don't know what I was taking last week, but I said November was the restart. It's actually coming in a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. With MLW starting back up in a couple of weeks, and Hammerstone already working with UWN and a few other places. I don't know if they're going to be able to squeeze him and Holiday into AEW with at least Hammer's schedule. I don't know about Holiday. I haven't seen him anywhere since the shutdown.
How fucking phenomenal would it be to have MJF and Wardlow cutting a promo in the middle of the ring, and then Hammerstone comes out and jumps friggin' Wardlow, and then out comes Holiday with his earbuds in, and then you get a Hammerstone Wardlow feud. Dynasty started.
Like, I know Wendy hates you right now, but
I like it, though.
She loves it.
I like it.
She's trying because she's like, I love Wardlow.
I love Wardlow. But I had to think about it, and I'm like, you know what? No, yes. This gives
Wardlow costs MJF another.
I'll allow it. Make it so, number one.
Engage.
I got you. Tony, call me. Matt, Nick, Kenny, Cody. Call me.
Hit us up. We got ideas. We hit us up. We got ideas, and we're not Vince Russo, so you'll be okay.
We're better looking than Russo. And we
Anybody-
don't sound like fucking mooks. Ugh,
Wow.
Exactly right, bro.
Hey,
Russo.
I take that. I say bro all the time.
I do
Bro, I
too.
say all the time, but we don't sound like
Whatever
assholes.
happened to Matt Riddle?
He's on SmackDown.
On SmackDown?
What's he done?
He's had a feud. He's had a feud with Baron Corbin. Had some nice matches with AJ Styles. He hasn't really gone anywhere yet. Not.
All of that.
So
He's done
nothing.
that.
He's just kind of there. Whoa! I have a message from the Raw general manager.
I
Sorry.
know he posted on his Instagram recently, Matt Riddle, a picture with him and his wife. And he's like, the love of my life.
Sure, Jan.
Deep eye rolls.
Speaking of
No,
Sure
deep.
Jan,
Well, that's what we were talking about. You know, you had the parking lot fight, and now all of a sudden WWE's coming out with this, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we just came up with it. It just came to us the other day. Don't know from where.
Out of the blue, the clouds open,
sure.
The light bulb came
erupted.
on.
and this idea.
The planets aligned just right.
Just-
You know, that has become a very popular GIF in our message board and
Sure,
in
Jan.
group. Like,
Sure,
and that
Jan.
thing just kind of came out of nowhere. Like,
No, it came out of me because I love it so much.
Yeah,
I use it for everybody. I'm like, sure, Jan.
Wendy uses that a whole heck of a lot, and I enjoy the hell out of it. I tried to make one with her face on it, and it didn't come out right. So we're gonna keep it strong.
Don't bring it
It
up.
like
That
it.
was a
It
monstrosity.
didn't like it. I could share
Burn
it
it
like
with fire.
one to see.
yeah, show everybody. Let's show the national audience.
Jesus,
no.
Nah. we're not.
Wendy, Jesus, no.
They already
we
see
won't.
me on Baby Yoda. They don't need to see me elsewhere.
Oh, but Baby Yoda's so good. Yeah, I got to
But
work on
Jan is
that.
scary.
I'm gonna do a little more tweak it. I'm gonna do a little more work, and we're gonna get it right. I can't show it yet. It looks horrible. It really does. I was like, this is the best I could do. And she saw it. She's like,
It's frightening.
delete that now.
It was quite frightening.
But yeah, it's just a little fun. It's just a little odd. You know, this happens on Wednesday night, and come Thursday morning, they're announcing this Simone Street fight, and you're like,
Yeah.
where'd you get that from?
But that tells you, though, they're watching and they're paying
Uh-huh.
attention.
They're watching AEW.
Oh, they are.
You know, there are all these people that say, "Oh, Vince and WWE and all that." They don't listen to other things. They don't watch other things. They don't pay attention. They're worried about
They
their
do.
product, and I call bullshit on that. Honestly, I mean, they've stolen ideas from us, and we're not that big, so of course they're going to steal ideas from AEW. Why wouldn't you? They're kicking the crap out of your brand on a weekly basis. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And now that I brought that up, you know, we had also mentioned last week about AEW getting 1 million viewers and talked about should we keep the two shows on separate days and that kind of thing.
Yep.
Well, we got the numbers in about an hour, you know, a few hours ago, and the results were AEW yesterday got about 886,000 viewers. NXT got about 640,000. So AEW basically dropped down to NXT's numbers from last week, and NXT dropped a couple 100,000 viewers from the week before. Is that not enough proof that these shows need to air on separate dates?
Hey, we all know it shouldn't. We all know they need to be, but at the same time, it's competition, it's numbers, it's taking away from the other brand. WWE knows that they can put NXT on the network if they really need to, but
Well, that's, I mean, the real true hit came in NXT's direction, because, you know,
oh, absolutely.
AEW, of
Yeah.
course, dropping from 1 million to close to 900,000 is bad, but NXT dropping from almost 900,000 to 600 and some odd thousand in 1 week
Mhm.
is practically catastrophic. That's a 30-year audience gone in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Were they on Wednesday this week or were they on Tuesday?
They were on Wednesday this week, same time as Dynamite. And here comes the Raw general manager again telling me, stop talking about the Samoa Street fight. It's not even your show. What the fuck?
Lord.
Chill out. I'll say what I want.
Can't tell us to shut our whore mouths.
Ah,
Ryan. Of
never.
Using my catchphrase, my tagline.
course.
The man
Just
has more
borrowing
taglines.
it. That's all. Just
That-
borrowing it from.
I
that
got
man-
two.
That
got
man has
two.
more catchphrases than MJF.
That's what makes me great, honestly.
Yeah, but he might get mad at you, and you don't want that.
Oh,
I mean-
Dynasty.
But it feels like they need to keep Dynamite and NXT on separate nights.
Yeah,
It's,
I agree.
I hate to bust out like the Stephanie McMahon line here, but it's best for business. It really is, because
Mhm.
NXT gets more viewers, Dynamite gets more viewers, and right now we desperately need like more genuine wrestling fans to tune in and watch these shows and get involved. Because there are so many haters that like a war, as I was saying, Monday nights worked because people could enjoy both or could respect both or could whatever. But now with this Wednesday night war, there's no enjoying both unless you're, a rare fan. There's no respecting both. You see that every time you get on social media. You got one group of fanboys knocking one show, you got another group of fanboys knocking the other show, and you're just sitting there like, I watched both. Like, what the fuck's your problem? But I
Brian
watched
just brought up
both
a
because
good
I'm
point.
41, and that's what happened in the last war.
Brian just brought up a good point. He said, add to the topic, WWE created Shotgun Saturday Night in the Attitude Era because of ECW. So, of course, they'd copy from AEW.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's not just the Monday Night War. Like, WCW and WWF were copying shit off of ECW left, right, and center. It
Mhm.
created the Attitude Era. It created the hardcore title in WCW. It brought a lot of those guys from ECW to those companies because they were hot, and these companies needed that kind of thing to make themselves hot so that they could beat their competition. But now it's
Absolutely.
just, we're more worried about where guys came from and what you're and we're claiming promotions like gangs claiming sets, and we're gonna have wars and shit. Like they're going to war. We're not. Their war is our gain because they're gonna put out the best product they can for us, the fan.
Yeah, it's.
Just because they're going to war doesn't mean you do.
I feel like we talk about the Muppets every week.
We really do.
We do. We really
It's like, listen, I'm gonna put it to everybody this way: stop being fucking retards. If you like wrestling, watch all wrestling.
Watch it.
If you
enjoy
like
it.
one brand, watch one
Fine.
brand. Don't
No
be
one
a
cares.
fucking douchebag.
Don't
be
ruin
a
somebody
dumbass.
else's fun.
Don't ruin it for us.
There are people like Brucey and I, Wendy, who watch a shit ton of wrestling. Like, and it's not just one promotion.
We watch multiple promotions across multiple platforms from different countries, from all over. Like just
Except for that ECW bullshit. That's not wrestling.
MJF lost.
No. Mox cheated.
He was cheated out of it. He was robbed.
And he lost.
The undefeated,
Lost
uncrowned
because he lost.
Because he was robbed.
AEW champion.
Who lost to John Moxley, the heavyweight champion.
Because he
Anywho,
cheated.
still lost.
CCW
Well,
is better than ECW.
The point I was trying to make before I was sidetracked was, this would be like saying, okay, our country's army is going to war with another country. So that means we're going to grab rocks and sticks and our guns and we're going to go with them overseas to the war. No, we're going to support them or whatever the fuck we do, but we're not going to war with them. And the same goes for wrestling. It's they're going to war and we're going to sit back and support and do whatever we can to create, a positive environment while they go to war. We're not getting in it. You're not going to see me like jump a WWE ring and low blow Cedric Alexander because I think he needs to be in AEW. That's not going to happen. I actually wish it would.
I would like to see that. I think Lashley would beat your ass, but I would like to see it.
You know what? If I could get the clip and put it on our YouTube channel, I'd take that beating. Again, I'll take one for the team. I'm not scared. I'm not. I have done some crazy shit in my life. I ain't scared.
So to put this in layman's terms, AEW Smarks versus WWE Smarks, or AEW Muppets versus WWE Muppets
That's more.
is
Walk.
basically it's basically like watching two retards talk about politics.
Yeah, I
Watching two
guess if
potatoes
you want to
still
put it that way. Yeah, it really it's like constantly watching Vince Russo and Jim Cornette argue over credit for the screw job in Montreal. Like you might get a clip of it here or there and think, oh, okay, that's funny, those guys. But if you had to
It's
watch
like-
it all the time, every time you turned on a wrestling show, you'd probably just be like, fuck, I'm done. I'm out. See you.
It's like, what's that old saying? Arguing
literally.
online is like winning gold in the Special Olympics.
There you go. I have a special needs child and I approve all these messages. Because even my special needs child will sit back and watch all this stuff. He watches Raw, he watches Impact, he watches Dynamite until it's time for bed, but he watches. And he doesn't sit there like, oh, well, this isn't WWE. He's just like, oh, shit, wrestling, cool. Give me my snack. Chanting for Luchasaurus because he loves him.
What's next?
Oh, boy. We got so
Next topic.
sidetracked. I don't even
What's
know.
next?
Ready.
I'm done talking about Muppets.
Well,
Only Muppet I want to talk about is Kermit the Frog.
hi-oh. Kermit
None
the
of my
Frog
business.
here.
So what's our next topic, Topic Master?
Yeah.
Ah,
What do we
Topic
got,
Master. Add that one to my list of nicknames.
Again.
Oh, I'm gonna direct this one to Grandma Wendy first before we jump in because I did it last week, so I got to do it again. The NWA Women's Title match. Thunder Rosa,
Fucking
Ivelisse.
horrible.
Shut your whore mouth, Grandma.
I'm just kidding. I'm fucking kidding.
No, asshole.
I'm
Quiet
kidding.
down, white man.
Wow.
Give us your reaction to
Getting
that
racist
match.
up in here.
At least she didn't
You
call
know,
you
she gonna
white
call-
bread.
They're gonna call me a cracker or something. That's what I'm
Quiet
waiting
down,
for.
white bread.
I call myself a hunky. I don't give a fuck.
All right, whole milk, shut up.
All right.
We're
Calm
going
down.
for gold tonight, you guys.
Okay.
We really
okay.
are.
Okay.
Grandma
All right,
Wendy.
Okay. Deadass. That match was, oh my G. It was, holy shit balls. It was amazing. Like, it was a great match overall. It was a fantastic match. And seeing those two women bring it like they did was incredible. I definitely enjoyed the hell out of it.
So we're getting Diamante versus Thunder Rosa coming up.
Yes.
Actually, it looks as if we're going to get the Deadly Draw winners versus the two champions sitting on the AEW roster right now.
Sheeta two
Sheeta
belts would be so
And
awesome.
Thunder Rosa.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Shut your
Oh,
whore
I
mouth.
do know what I'm talking about. And you guys know you'd still
Cállate,
like
Pan
to see
Blanco.
it. It doesn't matter who won that match and won two
But
titles.
it
you'd
looks
love
like we're going to have something between Sheeta and Thunder Rosa taking on
Mhm.
Ivelisse and Diamante.
Yeah.
And this could be just gold.
It will be. It will be.
Yeah. Like that match was phenomenal. And can I say that shout out to Thunder Rosa for following us on Twitter today? Like, hell
I
yeah.
know. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is oh.
No, like there's
That is so freaking awesome, BT Dubs.
It really is.
Muchísimas gracias. Muchísimas.
I
Like-
absolutely love her. in
Desde
the
el
ring. I
fondo
think
de
she's an
nuestro
amazing person.
corazones.
See, Wendy's just marking out. This is why I do
really
these
am.
topics because I love to see that look on her face. I love to see her get all excited. It's so funny. I'm waiting for her to squeak again because I made it happen last week and it was the first.
I'm keeping that shit in check this week, y'all. Ain't happening.
But to see that, we had tweeted something out about Thunder Rosa, and minutes later she followed us, and I was like, I can't. I'm done. Y'all look, I gotta go.
Freaking made my day.
It really did. That was the best part of my goddamn day. I'm not even gonna lie. And she put on a hell of a match. So did Ivelisse. I enjoyed. I was saying during Dynamite that was the real main event, and it was no disrespect to the parking lot fight, but that match just had that feel going in, and they both lived up to it. And I was so excited about it and for it. And I'm glad Thunder Rosa won. and there is no way we're getting Shida. It's not Shida 2 belts. It's Thunder 2 belts or nothing at all. That and that I'm not just saying that because she followed us. I would have said that any day of the week since she won that title.
What was it? I think who was it JR or Tony who pointed out that Thunder Rosa, they were comparing the amount of years between Rosa and Ivelisse. They mentioned Ivelisse had what, like 16, 17 years experience.
Yeah.
Plus 5 plus however many in MMA. And I appreciate the level of professionalism that these two women have, the skills that they bring into the ring, and not just the in-ring talent that they bring, but also the psychology they brought into it and hyping. I don't know if everybody else felt it, but I definitely felt really hyped about the match and how they build up the excitement. I thought it was spectacular.
It was just
So it's starting to look more and more like Thunder Rosa may have a dual contract with NWA and AEW because they keep promoting her and putting her in matches. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, Corgan knows that Thunder Rosa is amazing. We know she's amazing. What a better way to bring women into and watch NWA than to get their NWA champion on national TV.
Yeah,
Mhm.
which they're doing, and I think it's amazing. I'm so glad she's getting that opportunity. She deserves it. I think what we quoted was her saying that, you know, maybe now she'll get into the top 95 wrestlers on PWI.
How was she
list.
97?
And-
Who the
and-
hell were the 96 above her?
So I joked a little, but I quoted that, and I had said, "Oh, you mean top 5? Oh, my bad." Because there's no way she's not on that list already. She should be top 5 as far as I'm concerned. When you see what she's capable of, what she did with Power, what she's doing now, she's an amazing young talent. And I even got to give a shout out to Ivelisse because she is the total package, and people have just kind of slept on her or passed her up for whatever reason. The only place she ever really got a fair shake was Lucha Underground, at least in the United States. And, you know, for her to be back out there on Dynamite, you know, winning the Deadly Draw, getting this match with Thunder Rosa, getting in a national spotlight, this is all stuff that she deserved like years ago. And so I'm glad it's happening for her now. I have nothing but love for those two. Wendy's right; they're absolutely professional, and they are total packages. Like, they can talk, they can fight, they can give you a story. They know the psychology, they know all the ins and outs of wrestling. And like, if they want to do that match again next week, I'm gonna be just as excited. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Watch the hell out of it.
Like, watching the hell.
Dude, this whole PWI shit's got me pissed off. Like, I'm just trying to think, like, the only way that they can have anyone above her right now, it should.
From what I heard,
In my eyes, in my eyes,
Wow,
these
he's coming
blue
out.
eyes, like
those-
Sheeta,
Baby blues.
Thunder Rosa, and Tessa Blanchard and Jordan Grace should be in the top 5,
yeah, I totally agree.
hands down. Like,
As
there
of
ain't
from
no
where we
one in the
were-
WWE that is better than them.
I'm almost
No.
willing to bet that she's like the only major promotionals women's champion that isn't in the top 95.
I guarantee you that Charlotte Flair's in the top fucking 3.
I guarantee Charlotte was there. I guarantee Jordan Grace might be. I don't remember the list. I don't have it right now.
I have it up.
I knew you would. That's why I continue to talk about it, because it pisses me off. Who's the top
Wendy's
5?
gonna do it.
Do you want top 5 or top 10?
Top 5 for right now.
Not a single woman. John Moxley, Adam Cole,
They have a
Jericho, Drew McIntyre, Tetsuya.
Oh no, they have a separate list. It's
they
the
have a women's, a
25
PWI
women.
women's.
No,
That's
they
the list that Thunder Rosa was
list,
talking
didn't
about.
they?
I'm pretty sure they made a women's list.
No, women are on this list. They mixed them up. Blanchard is 83 on the list.
PWI top 100 female wrestlers of 2019.
2019. Have they not put out the one for 2020 yet?
No, because 2020 is not over yet.
Well, they just put out the other PWI 500.
They put out the PWI 500.
Well, she better be on it. That's all I know.
So
I don't know if she
They
was.
said like on the PWI 500, it was said like, hold on, let me scroll down a bit.
Oh, are they not doing? Are they just mixing men and women now? They're not
No,
doing
women
separate
have
lists?
also been ranked within the top 500 for the very first time.
So they stopped
What?
doing the women's because the women's last year's top 5: Becky, Charlotte, Ronda, Shayna, and Tessa. And then to round out the 10 was Bailey, Natalia, Io Shirai, Mercedes Martinez, and Nicole Savoy.
Wow,
And
it's a lot of WWE.
all WWE.
That's practically
I'm
all
looking,
of it.
I'm looking. I don't even see Thunderfoot
Oh, there's
and
Ben.
Rosa
Hi,
on.
Ben. No, that's would be like I don't think she'd be on last year's because she was still
Katie
kinda-
Castanero's 63. If she's at 63, Thunder Rosa's below her, there's something wrong.
Well, I guess we'll see. I don't know if I don't know if they're just intermixing the top 500 now, or if they're coming out with. a
Bro,
women's
Scarlett
list.
Bordeaux was 89.
But she better be on it. That's all I know. Like if they're putting
She's
out a new one,
not.
she better be on. No, I mean if
She's-
they come out with a 2020 list, she better be on it.
Yeah.
Either way, it's nice to see these two women, get this kind of spotlight, and it's definitely good for NWA because obviously we had the primetime series start this week, and while it was a good show, it wasn't exactly a great feed, and people were very upset about that because you lost bits and pieces and chunks of like ends of matches, interviews, the whole nine. It's not a good look for NWA, that's for sure. So to get Thunder Rosa out there definitely makes up for it.
PWI 500 top women's wrestlers 2020. I found it.
He's still.
I found it.
We're never gonna get off this topic.
Bro, it pisses me off. Like, where the hell's the rest of them? It only gives me like a few.
All right, well we'll figure it out. We'll come back.
Whatever.
I gotta say, I was very proud that Faye Jackson and Alley Cat made it though.
Yes.
Yada y'all. I love Alley Cat. I mean, she's fucking hardcore. Literally, they put her through tables. She bleeds. They hit her with light bulbs and everything. You know, I love my hardcore death matches and all that.
Of course.
Freaking Alley Cat to be doing these, going toe to toe with a bunch of dudes. Bless her. She's
Yeah.
amazing.
That's one of the things that I loved about Ivelisse was in Lucha Underground. She goes straight head to head with any dude in the company. Didn't matter who it was. Mil Muertes, Jeremiah Crane, Matanza. She didn't give a shit. She'd just go head up with him. It was great.
To the wall.
Like when she calls herself the baddest bitch in the building, that is not a gimmick. She really is.
No, she really is. She really fucking is one of the baddest bitches.
But yeah, I did kind of feel for NWA during that primetime series, guys. It was a bad look between the feed, and then I don't know if any of you saw it. You probably know this by now, but there was a moment at the end of the match with Bennett and Aldis where Maria handed Mike Bennett the NWA World's Championship to hit Nick Aldis with, and when he held it up, the big silver globe at the top of the belt fell right off.
I still laugh. It's like the third
I'm
time.
trying not to because I love Charlotte. I have it. I love the NWA. I love Nick Aldis. But this was it. This was a hilarious moment that I am doing my best not to laugh at and failing. But
How old is that title though?
oh god, I don't even know if that's the original title. But even
Like
then,
Harley Race old.
yeah, like it can't be the original title. That thing would have biodegraded by now.
I mean, yeah, but
I think the plates are original, but they've changed the belt.
But
over
like
the years.
at the end of the match, they were supposed to have an interview with Nick Aldis, and instead they went off the air, and then they came back a few minutes later, and when he was holding the title, the globe was back on. So either they gave him another belt to do the interview with, or they ran out with like Gorilla Glue, and they just here you go, Nick. Because the globe was back on when they were interviewing him. That's all I know. But it was just a bad look between the feed, between that. Going back and watching the replay was definitely cool because like I didn't see the end of the Hammerstone match, which was awesome. I didn't see a few spots between
The Hammerstone one.
Oh, Hammerstone won. Yeah, Hammerstone won big. It was great. I was loving it because I haven't seen him since the shutdown. So it was like, oh yes, please, I need this. Let me drink this in, man.
drink it in, man.
It was still a good show. It was a great show. It was just the feed definitely took away from it. So you had to go back and watch the replay just to see exactly what happened or who said what in an interview because they kept like dropping out, coming back. and or backing up or kicking you out completely from Fight TV, and you're like, really? Like NWA never has these problems. Well, how are we having these problems now? Is it who we blaming? Are we blaming UWN now? Where do I go to get my refund? Like, this is bullshit. I wanted to see this bad. Like, I've been talking, you guys that watch the show know I've been talking this series up since we first fucking heard about it. Bennett versus Aldis, I was all in, and it was an amazing match. But there were some
pun
spots.
intended.
Yeah, none at all. But there were some amazing spots. But even middle of the match, they go like the ref gets knocked out. Bennett and Aldis are outside, and Aldis picks up Bennett on the ramp, and he's about to deliver a tombstone. And then they just skipped ahead, and all of a sudden, both men were out unconscious on the floor. And you're like, "What happened?" You know, like, this is not what you do in a main event. Back that shit up, do something. You're trying to back up, but it's not working. It just keeps going back where it just skips, and you don't know what transpired in between. It was
That's ridiculous.
It really was, but the matches themselves were great when you could actually watch them. Yeah, I get it. I'm gonna stop talking about the Samoan Street Fight Raw GM. Stop fucking.
So actually, the GM just came through with a question for you guys via the book face. So this is kind of an off the wall question. So Hangman, do you prefer him better in tights or trunk?
I prefer him better on his own.
From what perspective? From dirty grandma perspective or like decent grandma perspective?
Like wrestling image perspective.
I like him in the tights. I'm
I
not
don't like the pants.
briefs in general. The briefs always weird me out, no matter who's wearing it.
Because he used
trunks.
to come in. He used to come in like rocking
Briefs,
the
trunks.
chaps. He used
It's
to come in
weird.
rocking the leather chaps, and then he would take those off, and he'd have the wrestling
Trunks.
trunks. I call them man panties. That's just me. The man panties. So now he's just got a pair of pants where it seems like the chaps are built into the trunks, so it's still got like the separation in the fringe and all that shit. But he now just wrestles in it, and I think that's a little bit better. Personally, the less I see of dudes during wrestling, the better. Like, I love Rikishi. I never needed to know how many divots he had on his ass, ever.
You counted every single one.
I had like 7 or 8 years to fucking count him, dude. He was on every week.
Changed every week, every day. It was
like, oh shit, he's got 962. Last week he had 941. Nice progress, Keish.
He's getting a little weight there. According to, there was a request on the YouTube perspectives. From a decent perspective, I appreciate the pants. I don't know why, just seeing that much of a man's leg weirds me out. But from a dirty perspective, I mean, it's a win-win. I mean, he's kind of tasty in both of them. So
Oh boy,
either or for me.
Grandma.
I just want everyone to know that question came not from our group. It came from a totally different group. I pulled up the book face because I had a notification, and there it was. I was like, hey, why not ask the guys on the show?
And then that happened.
And then Grandma Wendy went
No, we did.
dirty.
It was requested.
It was.
My honest opinion was requested, so it was given.
In the words of the mediocre Excalibur, we got to give the people what they want.
Exactly.
Now, there was a topic that Wendy wanted us to talk about, like yesterday, maybe. She sent us an article to read that was
You guys do your homework?
pages.
I didn't finish reading it. I started reading it. I didn't finish because football practice and life got in the way.
So
Of course.
we're gonna hand an apple to our teacher, Grandma Wendy, and we're gonna
Yes.
let her bring this in for the class.
Let me spit my gum out real quick. Make it easier to
you
talk.
just put that gum in your mouth.
And it doesn't have any flavor anymore anyways. It's gross.
Oh, you
Yeah.
are such a kid.
What? At least I didn't swallow the gum.
True. You don't want to do that.
It's true. It's true.
All right, Wendy, let's do it.
Swallow your gum, it gets stuck in your guts, and then you can't poop.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Maybe that's why I have such a hard time. Or maybe it's because I'm old.
Okay, we don't need
No,
to
I'm
know
just
this.
kidding.
Grandma Wendy, too much information. Moving on.
So Bruce actually was the one who brought this article to our attention.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Posted. Where is
Yes.
it? Here it is. I still have it open. Huzzah.
And then Wendy was like, "We must discuss." Read. I was like,
Good, yes. So someone posted an article from What Culture. It says WWE needs to eliminate NXT. The future never happened. So I read it because I was like, at first I was like, who wrote this? What asshat said this? Then I
Yeah.
saw Culture, and I was like, What Culture actually makes legitimate points. Let me see what they have
Come
to
on.
say. So I read it. And I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with what Culture said. Basically,
Wow.
yeah. Let me tell you why. Since I read all, basically, NXT being on TV makes it another cash cow.
Right.
Have to fight for ratings, and it's not what it once was while it was on the network. On the network, it was a developmental show, and it
Mhm.
gave, oh, excuse me, beer's catching up to me. It gave everybody a chance to practice and try and learn.
Mhm.
Not just in-ring skills, but promos and in-ring psychology and getting into
Yeah.
each other's heads, building their character, the whole thing.
It got a lot of talent ready for the WWE schedule as well. Like you're going to be
Exactly.
doing this once a week, then you're going to be doing a pay-per-view every X amount of weeks, then you're going to be doing this. It prepared them all around for that move up. And now that
Exactly.
move up is a move that's sideways.
But yeah, and now that it's on TV, now that they have to fight for ratings, not everyone is getting a fair chance to
Mhm.
learn and practice and develop. So it's lost in the shuffle of TV shows, essentially. And then once they get moved up into the main roster, they're lost because they're not properly developed,
Right.
not ready for it.
Yeah. No,
That's why NXT should be eliminated off the TV and put back on the network.
The other good point that they made in the article was the fact that, the developmental talent eventually became Triple H and the powers that be rating independent companies and taking the best talent and putting
Yes.
them on a developmental brand. And when guys have been, in a situation where they're top of the heap in an independent company, I don't care which one that it is, they're not exactly in need of development. They could be brought straight to a main roster and work a program and do what they got to do and figure it out on their own because they've already been there and seen it. Where NXT was more of a let's get you ready not only for in-ring competition but a rigorous WWE schedule, and then you can move up. Now it's more, we got to have names, we got to go out there, we got to get the top guys so they don't go anywhere else. And we don't have them, we don't really need them in WWE, but we could use them in NXT. We could get people to watch it through that. We could get ratings through that. We could do, and the other point that I have off the top of my head is like, you still think it's a developmental brand, yet your current champion is damn near Brucey's age and a former Universal champion. How is that developmental? I love Finn Balor. Don't get me wrong. I love Finn Balor. But his first run in NXT, that felt developmental a little bit. Get a new character, create some new stuff, get yourself ready to go to that next level. And he did, and it paid off for him. So why is he back now? Because you have nothing else for him.
Pretty much.
Why is Killian Dane back there? He wasn't ready. He sure as shit looked ready on the main roster when they used him.
All right.
It's
I'm going to
become a
play some
hub.
devil's.
It's become a hub for misfit toys. Finn Balor, Drake Maverick, Killian Dane. These guys are not developmental talents. They've been there. They've done it all.
Brucey, what's your 2 cents?
I'm going to play devil's advocate on this.
Do it. Honestly,
NXT does
There it is.
not need to go. NXT needs to stay, and it needs to stay on television and remain a third brand because they have so much talent. Now, here's where the developmental comes into play now.
I know where he's going
So
with this.
WWE has recently just purchased Progress Wrestling
And Evolve.
and Evolve. So
There's
now
your
they
developmental.
have the Evolve brand that they can take and put on the network as their new developmental
Yeah,
program.
they could actually do both if you think about it, because they could use Evolve in the U.S. for developmental
And
talent.
Progress
Progress could be the developmental talent area
in
for
the
NXT
UK.
UK,
Yes.
because they
So,
practically robbed them anyway of all their talent. So
I mean, yeah, they've already signed Anthony Green and Josh Briggs, which I'm very pissed off about. I wanted Briggs to go to like AEW or Japan or something, but hey,
yeah,
you know,
Briggs is a hell of a talent.
this dude's amazing. But no, I don't think NXT has to go. They need NXT. NXT, it may not pull more numbers than Raw or SmackDown, but it's the better
Oh,
show.
and I didn't see it, but my homeboy Brian just said the same thing I said. The way they kind of just ruined the British scene by just stealing everyone from Progress and those kind of
Yeah.
companies and putting them in NXT UK. So now they own Progress, they could use that as developmental, even though NXT UK kind of technically is, and they could use Evolve as the developmental brand that leads you to NXT or Raw or SmackDown, or maybe it's a two step, kind of like baseball, single A, double A. You know, you got
Mhm.
Evolve, then you got NXT, then you got Raw or SmackDown from there.
I just don't understand how
I gotta be.
I just don't see how WWE picked the entire UK fucking dry of their wrestling.
They
I
got
just
more
I,
money.
I I just don't no.
They got more money, dude. They can do whatever they want.
Dude, they've got more money, but how many people did they actually have on their UK roster? 25, 30? So you're telling me 30 people made up
Well,
the
that's what it.
entire UK
Not the
independent.
entire, but but it was probably like the top 30 stars from both divisions in British wrestling were all taken and put to NXT UK. And that would hurt any company.
It
Like if you
happens
take the
daily
top
in the
if you
US and they just
take
make news.
let's say if you take the top 30 top talents from WWE right now, even they're struggling. The lockdown has showed that already. They're not even gone, and WWE's like, oh my god, what do you do? And you hear all these reports that every week there's chaotic TV tapings and people pissed and everything else. When you lose that kind of talent, it affects you no matter who or where you are. And the British scene definitely took a big hit from NXT UK. Now, as
Mhm.
far as NXT itself, I don't think it should be taken away. I think it should be taken off of USA and put back on WWE Network.
They
That's what
don't
I
need
think.
to.
Yeah.
They've got Evolve. They've got Evolve, and so therefore they don't need to take it off of TV.
But they're not
They
doing
can,
anything with
but
Evolve yet.
yet
If they use Evolve as their developmental and to build people up to get them onto NXT TV and get those from NXT onto the main rosters and just keep that upwards motion, makes total sense to.
Yes.
But if you're just gonna have Evolve and let it sit in your back pocket like an old banana, I don't know why you have an old banana in your back pocket, but you do for this analogy,
maybe it has bourbon in it.
Oh, good one.
maybe. But
I
then
like the bourbon banana. That bourbon banana aged, whoo, it's even better.
I lost my analogy.
The
Fuck.
gears finally started to hit in my head, and it brings up another question. So let's say they do put Evolve on the network, and that does become the developmental brand. What do they do with guys like Triple H and the NXT squad who were supposed to be the leaders of the developmental brand? Do they then move them to Evolve and let regular WWE TV crews and writers and Bruce Pritchard take over NXT?
No.
Because personally, I'd rather see somebody like Paul Heyman take over Evolve and run that, and leave Triple H and them in NXT, because there's already been, you can tell there's been an influence from guys above Triple H on the NXT product since it went to USA Network, and
Absolutely.
none of it is good.
No.
I
They keep taking what NXT was and chipping away at it little by little and just turning it into yet another weekly WWE show, and I fucking hate that.
I
If
would.
you
What's up?
no, Bruce, go.
No, I was gonna say I I think Heyman's days as a producer are pretty much over for at least a good year or two. If they bring Evolve back, I would love to see a guy like Brian Fury get a chance to
Mhm.
run Evolve. That dude has
Okay.
done an amazing job in New England with his school
Yeah.
and chaotic wrestling, and he's done training. He goes down and he's a coach
Oh.
at the performance center. And if he goes in there and they give him Evolve to run, it'll be amazing. He trained Josh Briggs. He
Huh?
trained Sasha Banks.
He trained some of the best in the business.
He's worked with MJF. Like the
He's
dude
done it
is
all.
phenomenal. He's the one that got me in the freaking ring. The dude is phenomenal,
I have
and
one
he's
more.
great at what he does.
I have one more option for Evolve if they can't get Brian Fury, and that's our good friend Shooter Storm.
Yeah,
That fool has done it all. He's training wrestlers. He's got his own school. Bring him down. Let him get to work. That show will be amazing. I'm not just saying that because I love Shooter, even though I do.
Ooh, this is a good question on the YouTubes. Could it be
Oh.
couldn't come up with good enough storylines for the new talent from NXT? Maybe that's why they sent them back.
I mean, it could. It obviously could. It's just I find it hard for people to be sitting around scratching their heads saying, "Wow, what do we do with Finn Balor?" Or what do we do with Breezango? Brucey and I have been saying it for years. You put the tag team titles on those motherfuckers, and NXT did that, but they did that what?
Too late.
3-4 years too late. They were the
Yeah.
hottest thing in tag team wrestling at one point, and they were being jobbed out and used for their gimmick and used to basically make a fool out of themselves. And while they still do a little bit of that, they even brought back the Fashion Police last night, Brucey. I know that's got to make you happy. And they defended their tag team titles against Imperium, so that's got to make you even happier. I know I was. We are Breezango marks. But this is all being done 3 or 4 years after the fact, after being made into jokes, after being pushed to the side, after being just left alone and then left to rot and then sent back to NXT. And while it's great and I love it, it could have happened so much sooner and it would have made a bigger impact. No pun intended. But it just doesn't feel like they need to be the developmental brands tag team champions again. It's like the guys you have as your champions right now, as far as Finn and Breezango, these guys have been around forever. They've gotten over. They've done everything on a main roster. Why are they your champions of a developmental brand? And so to say we don't have anything for these guys just feels to me like a cop-out. Because
It really is.
Breezango, Finn Balor, I could write something for him in 8 seconds.
It's mismanagement of talent, is
And
what
oversaturation of talent as well, not just mismanagement, but
it's
oversaturation.
a combination.
Yes,
It is. It is. I mean, look at AOP for starters. They were tremendous on NXT. They did not need to develop for another second. You could have put them in a Raw or a SmackDown ring. They could have been tag champs the next day. But when you finally brought them up, you got rid of Paul Ellering, who was a huge part of that team, and their mouthpiece. You put them with Drake Maverick, and you turned them into jokes just like you did with Breezango. And then when you didn't have anything else for them, you basically cut them. That's how WWE does, and that's how they treat their developmental talent. So in general, their system is flawed, and it's one of the reasons that NXT is now on the USA Network and not technically their developmental brand anymore, because they don't know what to do with these guys when they get them, no matter how good they are.
Yeah, and like the other thing with them like being still called developmental is they're still not on the on main pay-per-views. They still have their own separate pay-per-views. They've been on what? Two pay-per-views, two main roster pay-per-views,
you may
WrestleMania and Survivor Series.
You may get somebody here and there that comes in or comes up and gets on a pay-per-view like Keith Lee, recently. But you never really get like a ton of NXT stars on a WWE pay-per-view. And if they're supposed to be like another brand and not just a developmental talent, shouldn't they be on those shows too? Shouldn't it be more than just Rhea basically jobbing out to Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania? I know. It still hurts. It hurt me to say. I had to like grab my chair and like pull on it off camera so that I didn't. But it was. you know, it's mind-boggling that like they want to say, oh well, they're another brand, they're just like SmackDown, they're just like Raw, but then they don't treat them the same way. So
No.
now you have you have a developmental talent show that's going head to head with an actual wrestling promotion on Wednesday nights, and losing a third of of their viewers in 1 week because of it. And you're like, oh yeah, this is fine, this works. It doesn't. And you have to change from the top down. You have to change the way you treat these guys when they come up, and then maybe the developmental system would work from start to finish. But otherwise, the article's right. It is an extremely flawed system, and it's not the first time that anybody said this. It might be the first time that an article has been written about NXT where somebody said this is flawed. You know, people have talked about Vince, they've talked about, you know, WWE politics. They've never really mentioned NXT until now.
Word.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
I mean, and again, anytime Finn Balor and Breezango want to win titles, I'm a happy guy. Anytime they get them, I'm a happy guy. But to get them in NXT just like in 2020, you're like, wait, what? Like how did that? I understand Finn because again they had Killer Cross, but he's another example of the hot guy in the Indies that they wanted desperately, and they didn't want anybody else to have. So they signed him, but they weren't going to put him on the main roster, even though Killer Cross was ready. Can we all agree to that? Killer Cross was ready
Absolutely.
walking in the door. They put him on NXT because they could fake like they were going to develop him, but it would automatically equal ratings.
Yep.
And that was more important than the development of a talent. It was, we need ratings because we're in a war. So we're going to get this guy. We're going to put him on NXT with his girlfriend and create this amazing persona, which they did. But if they would have done that on Raw or SmackDown, it would have worked.
They wouldn't have.
No.
They wouldn't have.
He
He would have been
Lost in the shuffle.
He would have been just like on Impact, coming out in a freaking commando vest and trying to be like some stupid assassin that he's not.
Let's say it's you know, with
He'd
other
have got
guys,
lost in the shuffle.
like we brought up
Mhm.
Keith Lee, you know, with other guys, it's like they were in NXT and they were a certain thing, they wore a certain thing the whole time, and then as soon as they get to Raw, now they got to change. We got to change your music, we got to change your gear, we got to change this, we got to change it. Why? Keith Lee has been in NXT for 3 or 4 years now. He's come out to the same music, wearing the same thing, doing the same thing for years, and everybody has seen it. But now he's on another roster, we got to change it. If it ain't broke, don't fucking fix it.
That's true. That's true.
If you develop these guys for 3 or 4 years and they became a bigger name than they already were, let them be the big name. Let them come in. They've developed. You don't have to change anything. They've developed. Either that or your system is broken. And by changing them, you only feed that thought in people's heads, like something's wrong here.
Word. Sorry.
No, we're good. We're good.
Kid thing.
Oh, you're fine. Oh, hi, Felipe. Have fun at your party. A little wrestling party. I picture midget wrestlers.
Excuse you, little people. Little people.
Little people. I'm sorry. I don't consider you a midget. I don't consider you a midget, Wendy. You're just grandma.
I'm just a small adult.
Yes. Yes. You're fun size.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I'm glad we got to discuss this article. It was an interesting one. A lot to think about.
It was definitely.
I'll post it on the Facebook and the Twitters in case people are curious about it and can actually read through the 6 pages. Bonus points if you do. A for effort if you tried it and only got partway through.
It definitely takes
take
multiple. It takes multiple bathroom breaks to cover it all because I had to read like the first 3 pages, and then the next bathroom break I had to read like the next 3 and be like, okay, I got it. Let's go.
I prefer audiobooks.
Should I just record myself reading this article to people?
No, he needs.
Easier?
For him, he would need MJF to be reading this article to him.
Oh my god!
And
that would
calling
be
him a dumbass the whole
fucking
time.
Amazing! You stupid fucking Mark. Why do you care about this? They want this.
Are you
show
still
to
fucking
go
paying
away.
attention to me, dumbass?
Are you still listening? You fucking
Look,
idiot?
asshole, are you awake?
Do me a favor. Stop reading this. Turn on AEW. You'll see me. It's better. And you know. I think that's all we had. I'm
Yeah.
gonna run
yeah,
through my
that's-
topic master list here. Let's see.
That's about it.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm hoping for a better quality stream on next week's primetime live because that was frustrating the fuck out of me. But otherwise,
I'll
it
have
was a
to
good
actually
show.
like purchase it and watch it. It sounds like it was actually a good show though.
It actually was. When you can see it, it actually was. I felt bad for Mike Bennett, you know, because even in an interview, all he said was like, "I don't know what I'm doing now. I don't know." And he just looked so dejected.
guys.
Like this was his opportunity to rise out of all the bullshit he had been through, and he fell short. But it's like when you pass out in a clover leaf because you can't take the pain anymore, like there's no shame in that, homie. Like you don't need to worry about what to do. Bill, like Williams got a contract for you as soon as NWA comes back. Here you go.
You tried, friendo. You tried.
Oh man, he put in like a Herculean effort because it looked like all this had him a few times. But that's
I want to see him go win the pure title.
oh, that would be great. That'd be awesome.
That
Either
would
that
be.
or Hammerstone takes the MLW title from Fatu and Bennett beats Hammerstone for the openweight title in MLW. I'd be fucking pumped.
On that note,
Yeah, I think it's about time. Let's let Brucey hit us with the social medias and let's start to wrap things up and get out of here.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you can find us on Facebook at Top Rope Wrestling Talk. We are a publicly traded Facebook group. That means come in and invite yourself. We will accept you and all your wrestling glory. And all the wrestling you like, we will talk about it. Even if we don't know about it, we'll look it up, we'll watch it, then we'll talk about it.
We've
with
done
you.
it before.
We've
do it
done
again.
it. Join our thread, join our threads for all of our shows, join our forums for the pay-per-views, try to win a title. Then you can also find our merch on Facebook. Find our merch, our shirts, our mugs, our women's line that we now have out called Lipstick and Ladders. We have a women's line. Yes, I know Wendy's stoked about it. She doesn't look it.
It's
but
pretty
she,
awesome.
She really is. She
It is
really
pretty
is.
cool.
It's
we
pretty
have a-
awesome. Like the Curbs has done a lot of work on it. It's
She really
Yeah.
has.
Yeah. So
Chef's
you can look us up at TRWT merch on Facebook. That we're that's our business page. Yes, we have a business page. If you can freaking believe that crap.
I know, right? Because we're so business class right here.
I know. You can
my
also
degree is in business, but whatever.
you can also find. I can't do it. I can't wear it like that. You can also find us on Twitter at Top Rope WT. We go on there, we shoot the shit. We get people following us like Hammerstone, Thunder Rosa, the Von Erichs, both of them now.
Both the Von Erichs, dude.
Both of the brothers follow
Dude.
us. You can also
Say hi to your dad for me.
You can also find us on Instagram at top_rope_wrestling_talk.
Nailed it. Fucking nailed it.
Booyaka! And then also, if
Oh,
you're watching
sorry.
us, if you're also watching us on the tubes of which is YouTube, which you're watching us now, you know where to find us. But if you don't, and you're catching us on podcast, or you just see us on Facebook and you see the show, you can find us at Fox M Productions. We are the flagship show. We have a couple of other
Definitely.
shows there. They haven't fallen off, and we haven't stopped doing them. Finding content for them.
They're
and
slowly
time.
coming back.
They're
We might
slowly
even
coming
be
back.
adding something in the near future. I'm trying to work out a sports show. So
Oh shit! Oh shit!
yeah, Bruce is like, what? No, I'm
Oh,
in.
shit. Dude, I got too much on my freaking plate,
I
bro.
feel you, Hobie. I do.
I can't do another show. My wife would kill me.
Yeah, I understand. I'm not going to do that to you. But we're trying to work something out. We're trying to get some people together and come up on a date and that kind of thing. But we're definitely trying to expand a little bit and bring back some of the shows we already had. And Drunk Upon a Time could come back whenever we feel like kicking it.
Whenever you guys feel like getting drunk and me talking shit.
Yeah, Brucey can have a session with Pat Fiddle before he comes on, so he'll be good to lose.
Yeah, man. Pat freaking Fiddle, bro.
Who the
That's
fuck
my
is Pat
boy.
Fiddle B? Yo, why don't you just tell me have it with cheese?
All right, Wendy, where can you follow? Tell these lovely people where they can find our podcast.
You can find it on anchor.fm/TRWT. From there, sorry, I got a little distracted, a little scatterbrained today. From there,
Birdie.
find us wherever podcasts are found. So you can find us on Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, just everywhere. Even
iHeartRadio.
ones, yes, iHeartRadio. That's a fun one. So you can find us wherever you find your podcast. Ow, I just hurt my shoulder. Oh, excuse me. And you can also find us on the YouTube. So if you want to actually see our pretty faces, but if you don't want to, if you just want to, or you can't because you know you're driving or something, if you just want to hear us, what are you thinking, Bruce?
Oh no, I just saw something in the Twitterverse because I brought up Battle Royals earlier. And there's a #1 contender Battle Royal on NXT for the women's title coming up.
Yep.
Ooh,
Sorry.
who's in it?
Who's in
A
it?
lot of people.
Oh,
There's like 20.
The ones that we care about. Shotzi's in it. Rhea's in it. Looks like Candice LeRae's in there. Dakota Kai. Xia Li.
Raquel
Gonzalez is in there.
The tallest Mexican, eh?
And then there's a few others. But
Let's go, Rhea.
Yes. Rhea needs to get it back.
I know. I love Io. I love Io, but Rhea needs that belt back.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, yeah.
Oh, but yeah, so that's where you can find us on podcasts, and then you can hear about breaking news like this.
Right.
Mhm.
And again, thank you to anyone that showed up on YouTube. Love our groups. Like Facebook, I blinked and we got 30 new members. I was like, what happened?
right? Like
What's happening?
It's been a big
hi,
day.
Felipe. Mwah.
Hi, Felipe. We love you.
He just sent me a message like say hi. I'm like, okay.
No problem. We got you home. We
I
love
do
you.
is what the fans want.
But we will be back to you next week, as far as I know, because there's nothing else going on this weekend. Everybody, stay safe out there. Wear your mask. Don't be a Loki. And of course, Grandma Wendy.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
There it is. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
All right, recording's off, and I'm just about to kill the YouTube feed. So thank you, everybody.
Yes,
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.